Hey Bubble family, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I am going to just discuss a few little pointers that I have seen regarding smudge of lip gloss, those two. And I'm going to give my therapeutic perspective on what I believe happened to create this situation in the first place. So I'm getting in the festive spirit already. I've got my little reindeer antlers on. Arthur's asleep. And yeah, so I feel in the mood to have a discussion. So if you would like to join me in this video, then please do. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help the algorithm and helps YouTube promote me. That being said, if you don't know what to do by now, sit back, relax, grab your drink of choice, whether it be tea, whether it be coffee, I'll get my words out this time, whether it be eggnog, perhaps you are getting in that festive spirit. I would love an eggnog right now. Whether you would like, I don't know, perhaps you're feeling tired and you just need just a little bit of, because some drink Red Bull, some do. Maybe you would like to add a little something to that drink because maybe you have finished work, or like I always say, it is 5 o'clock somewhere. So let's grab, I've got cherries and berries, and let's dive right in. So by now, many of you are probably breathing a huge sigh of relief in the fact that the Netflix series is over with. Do I think that's going to stop people talking about it? No, myself included. But as I've said, I am getting this all out of the way because come the new year, I'm taking a different direction with my channel. I will still talk about them, but it won't be where they will dominate everything like they have been, because quite frankly, I am sick and tired of them. And I think there is nothing really new now. You know, yes, we've got his book coming out in January. Whether that is going to be more mudslinging at the Royals, possibly. Is he going to drag Camilla into this? Very possibly. Who knows? But then after that, what else can they do other than potentially get a divorce, which is, I probably think is going to be heading that way, especially after this. Of course, we have then the news coming out now that they want an apology. Only in the mind of a narcissist can you expect an apology after literally attacking not only the family, but the country and the people and the institution, which is the monarchy. Literally lied and then just went, you know what? We want an apology. And the only reason this has now happened is because, rightly or wrongly, there has been a sit down between Ngazi and Lady H, where she has apologized. Now, do I agree? I think there's two things to remember. That firstly, I possibly feel, no, let's start again. So do I agree with what they've done? No, because I feel like it is giving into a bully. It is given into peer pressure, maybe. I don't know why they chose to do this. But do I agree? No, I really don't. I feel that they should have waited and possibly done a similar thing of, because this whole never explain, never complain, never explain, obviously was the way the Queen did it. And to do this, it's almost opening the royal family up for further situations down the line. And of course now, because of that, Harry and Meghan have said, well, we've seen that you've sat down and apologised to this lady, well, we want an apology. Now the difference being here is that potentially, and I'm going to say potentially because we don't actually know, there is every chance that Lady H did say some of the things that were said in this discussion, albeit that they've never been, she's never actually said, yes, I said exactly that. So I'm guessing that she said something along those lines because that's created the apology. So what I think potentially the royal family have done is tried to be a bit diplomatic. What they have tried to do is kind of go, okay, they're not looking at it from the context that we are all looking at it, like this was a plant, this seems to be very orchestrated. I guess the royal family don't want to look at it because they can't really come out and go, and I'm sorry, we believe this was planted. She was a plant. We believe this was a setup. They're not going to be able to say that. So they've got to do something. So I think what they've kind of done here has been a bit diplomatic in saying, we recognise this is your experience. Okay, the intention wasn't there, but you cannot deny someone's experience. And so I think they've tried to be diplomatic. And this is just me, saying that. I don't know. I'm not there, don't know. But I'm just kind of guessing that maybe they've tried to do what they believe to be the right thing. But however, I feel that they've just given in to a bully. That's what I think. So of course, Harry and Meghan, who never watch the media, never watch the news, never watch anything, have seen this and kind of gone, hang on a minute, we would like an apology. You've never apologised to us. We would like an apology. Now, again, like I say, the problem you have is that even whether you agree or disagree, this Ngozi Marlene has shown some proof-ish, allegedly, but yet Harry and Meghan haven't. And I think if you're going to open that door to an apology, then these people that were bullied at the palace are possibly going to then go, hang on a minute, where's our apology? If you're going to start apologising to Harry and Meghan for the stuff that actually hasn't happened, then what about the apology to us from Meghan for the bullying and the things that you've done where there is actual proof? And I think that is something that I believe that Harry and Meghan are playing with a little bit of fire here, because if you're going to start going down that road of we want an apology, it is going to start opening that door for people to go, hang on, well, actually, we have got proof of what you've done. Whether it be the Australia incident, whether it be other things that people are not talking about of bullying. And they're going to say, well, if you're going to apologise to them for things that actually haven't happened, just because they've said it's happened, offering zero proof as per usual, then you're going to open that door for other people to go, well, where's ours? We want an apology from them and we have this proof. Already we've got people stepping up and saying, I'm asking the palace to release me from my NDA so I can actually speak about the bullying allegations, because after seeing this Netflix debacle, I want to speak out. And some of the things that I picked up on is that I have noticed, and I have watched little snippets. I've gone in, I've watched little snippets here and there because I can't go in and watch the full. Honestly, if I'm ever triggered, it's going to be with something like that. And I mean, I only have to watch a few minutes, and I feel so I'm going in sort of watching a few minutes, coming away, watching a few minutes, just so I can get something background into what I'm talking about. But what I have noticed, one of the things most definitely is, and I'm sure that other people have picked up on the body language. So when you're looking at body language, it's a cluster. And that is the way that you sort of determine whether something isn't quite right. So it's not just one thing. Like, for example, if somebody touches their nose, if somebody looks a specific way, is slightly misaligned with what they're doing. One situation doesn't mean that they're lying, doesn't mean that there's some dishonesty there or some anxiety there. It just might mean one thing. But when you have a cluster, and there's one that really stuck out to me, that when she was talking about the Queen, she was saying about that she went on this train and she had this supposed lovely time, but she shakes her head like this. Now, the body doesn't lie. You might lie or think you're lying, but the body doesn't lie. So when you're talking about something being a wonderful experience, but actually you're doing this, that tells us that actually it wasn't a wonderful experience. And then you have lots of other things like the touching of the nose. Then you have the fact that the recollection. Now, when Meghan does recall something, she looks up. And most of the time she looks up and to the left. Now that is, you're bringing in a memory. So what you can have is that she will bring up a memory of something, but then she tweaks that memory. And that's why you then get some misalignment where she'll look to the right. So the other thing there is that she will look up. So say, for example, hypothetically talking about this train incident, that did happen. So that is a real true memory. But then she might say something that happened on that train incident where it didn't happen. So she looks to the right. So in a way, then she's in a way constructing. And now everybody is different, but you have to find, that's why you have to find their baseline. And Meghan is very apparent. Her baseline is very much looking up and looking to the left. If it's true, if it's not, or it's conjured or, you know, orchestrated, then it's to the right. Now, a lot of the time she recalls someone speaking, and if you watch her, she will look to the right, and that tells us, for the most part, that she's not recalling the true conversation. Now, again, that could be because maybe she doesn't remember it all, but again, you have to then go with everything else that's happening. The fact that they have been proven to lie consistently. I mean, to be fair, she lies like she breathes. And of course, Harry's doing the same. Harry does a lot of touching of the nose, a lot of looking in the different direction that he should be looking in. There is a lot of self-soothing. The way that she did the curtsy, the way that Harry looked at her, to me, that was very obviously, in my opinion, not something that actually did happen. Yes, she probably did curtsy, but it was not the way that she did that. I think she did that for dramatic effect. I think she thought people were going to find it cute or funny, and it backfired massively, especially given the fact that Harry just sat there and looked confused, embarrassed, sort of chuckled a bit, but said nothing. Unfortunately, Harry is what we would call a beta male. He is not able to, what I would possibly say with Harry is that he puts up with a lot of what she does. He's almost in a way too afraid to say anything to her, but then he will blow. So I would imagine their rows are explosive. So he will just put up with things because he's in a situation, in my opinion, that he doesn't want to be in. Now, you've got to also recollect the fact that these two have been filming this since 2019, say. So they've known that they're going to be doing this. When you look at a lot of those photographs and the videos, supposed videos that were taken, who's taking those videos? Now, I could understand it if it's from a friend or something like that, but a lot of them seem to be taken from a photographer or a videographer, whoever it is. So they've been filming this for quite some time. And one thing that I thought was very interesting is when she's sitting on the bed with a towel around her head and she's filming herself talking. Now, firstly, that is a very narcissistic thing to do because she's talking to herself. She's not talking to somebody on camera and recording it. She's actually talking to herself and filming it. Now, people are saying that, oh, it's very moving. It's like, no, it's not, because it's orchestrated. She's purposely got her camera there to film herself saying, oh, I just don't know what to do anymore. You know, with the kind of sad look. That is orchestrated, because no offense, if you're thinking that, or feeling that, your first instinct is not to whip out your camera. You do that if you know you've got to put it on social media or you're putting it somewhere for effect. That was purposely done. And I'm sorry, but I think all of it, you know, this thing where some people are saying, oh, it's very hard to watch and some bits are very emotional. She's an actress. Now, don't get me wrong. I am sure that she didn't quite realise what she was getting into when she got into the royal family. I do believe that she thought, and this is my opinion, that she thought that this was going to elevate her career in Hollywood, that she was going to marry Harry, probably elevate her career, and then I believe she would have left him once she'd got her status in Hollywood, Hollywood elite. This is what I truly believe. In my heart, I believe that's what she wanted. Do I believe she married Harry for love? No. Do I believe Harry married her for love? I think Harry believed he was in love with her, but it was in lust. The two are they are very similar in the way it kind of portrays in how you feel. But I think he was in lust with her. And I also do believe that he truly thought that he had a teammate with her. My ears are falling off. I do believe he thought that. He thought he had found somebody like his mother, or say like William had in Catherine even. Now, where I think it started to go wrong was in the beginning, this whole thing of, and in a way they kind of say it themselves, like when they first got together, it was amazing. When they got married, it was amazing. The family were amazing. And then in Meghan's eyes, it changed. No, what happened, in my opinion, is that when they first got together, and this whole thing of racism actually makes me laugh, and I don't really understand how some people can actually still say this, because we didn't just wait for them to get married and go, you know what? Did you know that she's black? She's biracial? Because the 2 years prior to the wedding, I thought she was white. They didn't wait till the wedding. The royal family didn't wait till the wedding and suddenly go, after the wedding, oh my goodness, we had no idea. We had no idea. Now, don't get me wrong, she doesn't look biracial. And to me, she never looked, you know, on her driver's license, she was Caucasian. On her acting resume, she was Caucasian. She didn't even acknowledge her, I don't know what you would say, her blackness, if you would like, her biracial side. She didn't acknowledge this in her acting resume, on her driver's license, because in my opinion, she believed that being Caucasian would get her more roles. I think she believed that. So if she didn't acknowledge it and didn't put it down, why would anyone else? All of a sudden, it comes out because we see her mother at the church. We start to hear, obviously, that she, you know, her father and her mother, you know, speak out, and so then we know. But it was never an issue until she made it an issue, until she did it, where I believe she wanted to walk down that aisle by herself, and I think that would have been created the victim narrative of, oh, bless her. Look at her walking down the aisle by herself. There's no one there. She's got no family apart from her mum. And even the royal family are not kind of walking with her. I think she was setting that up right from the get-go. She had an agenda from the beginning. I think she wanted to come in. I think she truly believed that she was going to elevate herself within royalty, within the Hollywood elite. That's why she kept a lot of her stuff in America, and that's why she kept her PR team in America, because if she wasn't going back there, then why would she need them? And I think obviously Harry in the beginning had plans to stay. I don't believe for 1 second he was going to leave the royal family. Maybe there were elements where he was unhappy, but he had the best of both worlds. He had all the trappings, the money, the titles, everything of being a prince of the royal family, opening up doors to whatever he wanted without having the restrictions of being an heir to the throne. So he had the best of everything. You know, I think there were moments when Harry did look unhappy, but I think, like I say, he's incredibly immature and he seemed to be quite sort of pouty and sulky. I don't think he's ever really fully grown up. And you've only got to look at this Netflix series and the other things that they've done to kind of see that they're both behaving in that way. What I think, in my opinion, is I believe that Harry has elements where he isn't happy. He meets Meghan. She thinks this is going to elevate her career in Hollywood, because I truly believe that was all she was ever interested in. They have this very fast, she had to lock him down very quickly. And I've spoken before how I think that happened. I truly believe that she did love bomb him. I think she's also gaslit him. I think she's lied about her family. We know that she's capable of that because she did it in regards to when she split from Trevor. She lied about something that Trevor had done, which is potentially why he's possibly releasing, if he's going to release a book, could be on the back of that, because he's seen the things that in Tom Bower's book that she said in regards to him. So we know that she's capable of that. I think when they got married, narcissists love the adulation, and I truly also believe Harry loves the adulation. He loved being one of the most popular royals. This thing of the royal family didn't like the fact that Meghan was, or they were becoming popular. Harry has always been, up until now, always been more popular than William, Catherine, anyone other than the Queen. In fact, he was probably a very close second to the Queen in being one of the most popular royals. They never had an issue with that. In fact, William has often spoken about that he struggles with the limelight focused on him. So I don't think that's ever been an issue. In fact, I think the royals would have absolutely loved it. And in the beginning, everyone did. Everyone thought that she was amazing because she love-bombed everybody. What I think then happened is that certain things started to get leaked. I think that once she had the wedding, she secured him, so she didn't need to try. And so then she started to let her mask slip. And then obviously Harry was reacting obviously around that time because firstly in the beginning he didn't want to lose Meghan. So he was getting frustrated with people not listening or not doing what he wanted. Or Meghan not getting what she wanted, so he was reacting to that. So all these little things started to get leaked. Their behaviour, the bullying, things like that started to come out. So the table started to turn, and that is when they decided, or I believe Meghan decided, and I think it was around the time that she said that she wanted to she was considering taking her own life whilst allegedly pregnant. Who does that? And what happened? Nothing happened. You know, Harry didn't get her help, apparently. Her own mother, who was connected to the mental health, social work, somehow didn't get her help. Her own team of doctors and nurses, because she was allegedly pregnant at the time, didn't get her help. The royal family, who are incredibly connected to mental health, who did get Harry help, but he's now changed that narrative, didn't get her help. And she went to HR. So what I think happened is that she threw this at Harry. I think she used it to leave. I also then, this whole thing of, we were going to go to South Africa, we were going to go to wherever. I think, well, Meghan would never have wanted to do that. So I think that got leaked because there is a reporter that has come out and said that when asked a question of what stories are real and what stories are not real, she openly says that all stories are real, except the ones about the royals, because it is a tight ship until Meghan joined. And then there was leaks everywhere. Meghan or her team were forever contacting, leaking stories. So they were doing that. It has now come out that Harry was also doing this. So they're both, in a way, as far as I'm concerned, as bad as each other. And so when the tables turned and the media started turning against them, and they were no longer getting the adulation that they were initially getting, Meghan was like, you know what, it's time for plan B. I want out. Now, how can I do that? I know I'm going to feed on Harry's paranoia, and I'm going to say that I don't feel safe here. You know, it's affecting my mental health. We need to leave. And you can kind of hear it, because unfortunately this is what narcissists will do, to alienate, to isolate. And I think Harry, in that moment, believed he was protecting his family because she fed into his paranoia. You've only got to see the Netflix docuseries to see that she does that in the car. She feeds his paranoia, she gaslights him, and Megxit happened. I think in her mind, she thought, you know what? I think we can, you know, we can still keep let's capitalize on the royal name. I can go to Hollywood. I can do all of those things. I can still have, you know, I can have my career. We can still utilize the royal brand, which is why they then did the whole Sussex Royal. I also think that there was other stuff going on behind the scenes. But however, I will say this, that I think it also coincided with something that's going on regarding the children. Now, again, I have spoken about this. I think there is something that is going on, but there is an embargo where no one can talk about it. And I think this is when the palace kind of said, this is not working. You know, you can't have this where all this is happening. And so I think that she then instigated Megxit. That's what I think. That's why Harry is so insistent whenever he speaks about it, that it was his idea. I don't believe that. It's either going to be one of two things. She planted enough for him to say, we need to leave. Or she said, if I don't leave, then I'm going to do whatever it is that she said she was going to do. One of those two things. So that's what I truly believe happened. Now, again, this is just my perception, because unfortunately, knowing narcissists the way I know them, knowing how they work, how they manipulate, I truly believe that this is what she would have done. Now, what they didn't bank on and plan on, obviously, was the worldwide bug happening. So, of course, when they left in the January, and then come the March, everything went into shutdown. So, of course, this scuppered all plans that she potentially had to milk their brand. And that is why then we had all these leaks, because there was nothing they could do. Things were starting to come out about what they were doing, how they were behaving, the fact that now we're looking at the fact that they potentially they had Oprah over. So they were in talks to have this sit down with Oprah way before. This was planned. This wasn't just a sudden, which we all know, but this wasn't just a sudden, we need to leave. This was always in the pipeline of when they were going to create their brand. I think this was always there as a plan B. So what we're seeing now is the result of being told no. It's as simple as that. They've been told no. You cannot have what you want. And so because of that, they have, in a way, thrown their huge toys out of the pram. And this is what we've now got. But the strange thing is that they do it and then keep the titles. And of course, it's also come out now that Harry said that he was happy to relinquish the titles. Well, if that's the case, why don't you? If you dislike the institution, if you dislike the country, if you dislike the family that much, why are you holding on to the titles? And this is, to me, the only question that needs to be asked to them. This is why they don't sit down and do interviews without anyone that can be manipulated. They don't sit down with somebody that's going to ask the questions of, why did you really leave? Where is the proof? Who is the person that apparently questioned the colour of your child, which was never addressed? Where is the proof of every allegation that you've ever come up with? And why won't you hand back your titles? If you dislike everything so much, why did you come to the Jubilee? Why would you want to be associated with a family that you're saying is racist, that's bullying? Why would you want your children associated with that? And more so, why would you put your children through the same thing that you have basically said that you went through? You've literally put your children on a dogfish. Dogfish? What? What is a dogfish? I don't even know what a dogfish is. I know what a dogfish is, but not a dogfish. What was I trying to say? Possibly documentary, Netflix. Do you know what? I actually don't know why I come up with dogfish. Now I've lost my train of thought. God, the menopause. Just give me a minute. No, I've lost it. I think, yeah. So why keep the titles? Why come to the Jubilee? Why would you want to come to the coronation? Why would you want to have any association if you dislike so much what it stands for? To me, this was propaganda. I think this was not a documentary. They didn't film themselves going around to do charity things. They could have highlighted really great causes, charities. They could have done all of that. Instead, what it was, I'm guessing, a 6-hour whinge fest lie about people that have wronged you. You know, this is really what this was about. They were told no. They were told they can't be half in, half out. They couldn't have Sussex Royal. And they didn't like it. They didn't like the fact that the media turned on them. You cannot have it both ways. You cannot court the media when it suits you, and then when they write some negative stories about you, which, to be honest, I think a lot of them are based in truth because they wouldn't want to get sued, and then cry about it. And don't even get me started on the William shouted at me. What? My brother shouted at me. I actually don't think Harry realises actually how ridiculous that sounded. Who hasn't had a sibling, hands up, who has not had a sibling or a row with their sibling and not either shouted at them or had them or been shouted at? Because I know I have. I've done both. I've shouted at my brothers. I have shouted at my kids. I have shouted at everybody at some point in my life. And I've been shouted at. Is it nice? No. Sometimes, you know, if you're younger, sometimes you quite enjoy a good old Barney. I think given what he's done, given the way him and his wife has behaved, I think that's the least of his worries. I think he should be thankful that all William did was shout at him. Because quite frankly, I think if it was my brother, I'd be on a plane out there to give him a... Well, I can't say on camera what I would potentially do. To sit there and say, and my father lied. And then that's it. Well, what did he lie about? It's like, and my brother shouted at me. Yeah, I'm sure it's not very nice to be shouted at, Harry. But then it's equally not nice for the fact that you've literally gone on camera and exposed your brother's privacy. There is a scene where he talks, oh, my brother's just texted me. And then they have a conversation about William where she's like, oh, it's your brother. I'm not going to say anything. Oh, please. You literally have just stood there and said what you've said on camera about their family, but yet you're upset that he shouted at you in private. Well, nobody would have known about that. You know, get a therapist, talk about it. You don't air all of this stuff on camera for what? If you were really, if those two were really that bothered about an apology doesn't need to be public. If all of this was really an issue, they should have sorted that out with the family privately. What they've done is they've made it very public. And that is the issue that I think most people have had enough. When the country is in turmoil, or actually not even the country, the world, when there are real people really suffering, you have got people struggling to keep themselves warm this winter. You have got people that I've seen even on TikTok where they're talking and you can see their breath. It's so cold in their home. They are struggling. There are people, families that will be struggling to buy their kids Christmas presents or struggling to even have Christmas dinner this year. There'll be people that have, you know, like that wonderful young lad that Kraken, is it Kraken? The pirate that terminal. And he's smiling and he's, you know, and his family are trying to get through their real problems. They are real problems. And you have got these two who could not be more tone deaf, who can afford to rent out a $33 million house because, you know, they can't film in their own house because I don't actually believe they live there. But rent out this property. And not only that, the guy got caught for stealing. Was it $160 million from, drum roll please, veterans. Disabled veterans, I believe. Does nobody do any research? Did Harry not get that memo? Because they don't care. They don't care about causes. They don't care about the veterans. They don't care about anybody other than themselves. When you have got real people that have got real issues everywhere in the world, and all these two want to do is tell you how hard done by they are. Shut up. And this is just my therapeutic perspective. Please, Harry and Meghan, go get some help. Sort your issues out privately. And stop doing this to other people, because you are affecting other people. You're affecting two families that you've deeply hurt. You know, so I honestly, not sure how seriously you can take me when I've got reindeer ears on. But, but I just, yeah. I'm going to keep doing this, and like I say, until, well, I won't be doing videos over Christmas, but I will do them. But come the new year, like I say, I will be doing the odd video if things like, so I'm sure when the book comes out, I will do something on that, you know, so I'm not going to stop talking about them, but I'm certainly not going to be giving them as much attention as what I have been. And a lot of that is due to the fact that, unfortunately, like I've said, when I do other videos, people don't watch them. So I am looking forward to doing the true crime. I'm umming and ahhing whether to keep the Tea and Therapy channel as what I do here with the therapy stuff. I will be bringing in the true crime in the new year, but then I think I'm also going to think about doing a separate channel for true crime. Also doing the hair and beauty. I am going to be introducing the lady that I'm going to be working with on here, but then we will be doing a separate channel because obviously it's going to be a joint venture that we're both doing together. And I'm really excited about that. But people, don't worry, I will be keeping the Tea and Therapy channel. And also, just to say, speaking about the young lad, I did go onto his wish list, and I'll put it up here just to show you. And it's not about anything other than I wanted to show you that, you know, your coffee money and the donations that I get, I don't just sit you know, I've looked at the wish list, I saw a few things, and so I have sent them to him, but I've put from tea and therapy and the bubble family, so it's from all of us. So, you know, so because I know that some of you out there probably want to but are struggling, and I get that. So I got something. I'm rambling now, shut up. But you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. So yeah, so hopefully he will get those, and he will be having a lovely Christmas, bless his heart. So yeah, what else? I think that's it from me, because I've rambled on for quite some time now. So thank you to everyone who is joining my channel. My channel is growing. It's very exciting. We just need to get these views up, please, pretty please. I hope you are all getting excited for Christmas. I know some of you might not be, and I appreciate that. But for me, I am excited. I'm trying to make the best of it, because obviously I haven't got my son here, which will be the first Christmas I have not had my son here, which is a bit of a bizarre. I think the reason why I don't mind in a way is because I know that he's having a great time out there, and he's looking forward to just basking in the sun, which feels very odd to me. To me, Christmas is cold, rainy or snowy, or, you know, and winter. But he'll be having a barbecue and, you know, and loving it. So I am looking forward to it, but it will be tinged with a little bit of, yeah, sad. Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of a different one, but at the same time, I still love it, and I will still be waiting for my Santa stocking, because I feel like I've been a good girl this year. So hopefully no lump of coal for me. Anyway, so thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Please think about subscribing, because it does help the algorithm. And I will be doing all of the members, just so you know, I haven't forgotten you. Any new members that have joined, I will be doing you at the end of the year. I will be doing a video and putting you up there, and then starting obviously then into the new year. Anyway, so as always, it's goodbye from me, goodbye from a very sleepy Arthur, and I love you, I appreciate you, but most of all, I respect you. Mwah. Bye, Bubble family.